I think it brings me to the next question. So I know this COVID-19 has a future looking very unpredictable, but where do
Mhm.
you see yourself in the let's say 7 to 8 years?
Uh, One, I really want to start investing in real estate as well as soon as I can. I mean, as soon as there's a good amount of money flowing in and I have a good credit score. Like the only issue me being in India is that India is still like a few decades behind. Like they
Yeah.
need to
Yeah,
really come up. And the
yeah,
thing is that I'm not complaining, but still, I mean, for a young person, I mean, still like people expect me to work at odd jobs and
mm,
get a decent job, and which doesn't even pay much. I mean, the first salaries for like students, the Indian students, is what, like 20,000, 30,000 rupees
At
a
max.
month at a max. I mean, like,
mm,
are you kidding me? Like, I'm not interested in that. Like, yeah, so I really want to start investing into real estate so that I can actually build my income as time goes on. And I really want to get into AI and machine learning. That's why I actually chose computer sciences, because I really believe that AI, machine learning, and like voice recognition, and what Elon Musk is doing today, it will be the next big thing. I mean, I really believe
yeah.
that. So I really want to get into that space.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think we can see you work a lot. So how do you maintain a work-life balance?
Oh, and that's not true. Working hard and working smart are two big differences. Like, if you ask anyone, any of my friends, they will tell you that Arian doesn't work hard. He never does. I work smartly. I mean, like, if I need to focus on something, I always have a plan in mind, and one way or the other, I'll get to it. I still procrastinate a lot. Like, it's like everyone, every single one. So you have to accept some things that at the end of the day, if you can get this work done, that should be your goal. I'm not a big guy who believes that you should schedule things and whatnot, because for me, I will not follow the schedule. I mean, if something is important for me, I will probably do it right there and then. And then I set a time limit. For example, like, let's say that I have to create a website for some business or something. I'll give myself a week's time. I'll be like, in case it's not done, it will never be done. And that is one mental thing that I have. I don't like to be, you know, I don't like to lose. I hate losing. So for me, in my mind, if I don't get that, you know, if I don't complete my work in that time period, I lost, which is a big no-no for me.
Yeah,
And family is like extremely important for me. I mean, you have to have time for your family, no matter what. You have to have time for the people you love. You have to have time for your family, your mother, your father, your brother, your girlfriend, like everyone. And it's extremely important. I mean,
yeah,
you need to focus on all aspects. So, like, what is this all for? I mean, you do all this so that you can actually, keep the people who you love happy.
yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. All right. So, like, just one random question.
Mhm.
You were talking about Indian markets, right? Like, we all know that it's way behind. But okay, so you are also pursuing a course from Australia. So, like, where do you want to, be after your graduation? Want to come back
Oh,
to India? Or
I really don't know, to be very honest. I love India. I mean, India will always be, it's my motherland. So I
Yeah,
always love India. So I don't have a thing against India. It's just that the way that people do things, I mean, everyone knows about it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not the only person who says this. I mean, the way things are done, the bureaucratic things in India are very slow. I mean,
yeah,
these things are really important. For me, in the next few years, I really don't want to stick to one place. I want to go around the
mm,
world. I love
yeah,
the world, love experiencing new cultures and whatnot. And one, Australia is big on the cultural influencing thing, because you can see people from, yeah, Europe, from Asia, from America, like like you name the place and you'll probably find someone in Australia who's studying.
that's true.
Yeah, and that is one big thing for me. And in the future, I really want to get into where the money is, which is Silicon
Yeah.
Valley at the end of the day for me. So, yeah.
yeah.
All right. So now this is the final question. Uh, so, all right. So tell us about, like, how did you get the capital to start your startups? This is
Okay.
something that makes people afraid,
Yeah,
but you
true.
did that as a teenager.
Yeah.
So just throw some light on that.
So the first business I did, it was zero capital. Like that was like that is a big thing for me. I mean, if you guys ever think you're starting a business and you don't have a capital, I don't want to abuse you, but I mean, yeah, F that. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
as long as you have a good idea, and the best thing that you can do is actually start providing that idea for free. And you're really passionate about that idea. So what happened was, I went into this office and I got a meeting with these people, and they saw me come in, and I'm a young guy who's walking in. I never told them my real age. I was 16 at that time, 15 or 16
Okay.
at that time, and I always told them I'm 23, 24.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, the beard really does help. Believe me, grow a beard if you're all
Yeah.
the teenage entrepreneurs. So I walk in, and then these guys are like, what will you do for us? I mean, what can you do? So I sat down, and when you can actually show that, yeah, you have the right idea and you can actually make give them a lot of benefit, and suddenly they were like, yeah, this makes sense. We can actually make a lot of money out of it. So the first thing I did, I did this, and I did not even put up any paid advertising. I just used like hashtags. I just used like client reach out, and suddenly their followers went from like five, 600 to the upper like 5K, 7K, 8K,
Wow.
9K within like 1 month. And suddenly they were like, wow, how did you do it? And I was like, pay me and I will give you a better result. And suddenly I started getting like capital from them, and it was a good chunk. I'll say that I was charging in dollars because all the ad revenue was in dollars at that point of time. So charging in dollars gives you a hefty fee. So
Yeah.
these guys, they were putting in $4,000 to $5,000 a month for just advertising, and my fees was in like the $1,000 to $2,000 bracket. And then I used to get around 10% of whatever these guys used to advertise. Let's say like they put up an ad for $4,000. I used to get $400 out of it. So it was really like filled up. Like that is where you actually generate the capital. And slowly, what I did was I always put all the money back into the business. I never took it out for myself, which is big because suddenly I'm young, and there's all this money, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
suddenly I can buy the entire world, even though it's not a lot of money. But for me,
Yeah.
for a teenager, I was like, wow, I made it. Like I made it, but that was not it. Like, and then I suddenly kept my cool, and I was like, Aryan, you gotta focus on your work. You need to do this, and I put the money back in. I started advertising my agency, and people started seeing that. Oh wow, yeah, this really works, and my phone was ringing. I was like, wow, I'm in business. So that's what.
All right. So
Yeah.
even though this was the last question, now your answer has put some more questions in my mind.
Yeah, sure. I
So,
mean, go for all the
so
questions that you want.
okay. So एक एक बात पूछनी थी, like as a teenager, how did you handle all that success and money? Because
I,
it will be a big deal. It will be a big deal. As a 16 year
At
old,
that,
year old if you are earning in dollars, that is a big deal. So
yeah,
how do you handle the fame?
how do
And
you push aside the temptations and all things?
yeah,
I mean, I did. I mean,
and
there
moreover,
was a
how did you
lot of
handle the
temptations.
money?
And I mean, I loved laptops. I was a big in electronics, and I was like, oh, just I can literally buy Apple right now. That was my mindset. But that was never the thing. The handling was always, like I said, like I was always very strict on, like this is what I have to do, or I lose. Like I hate losing again. So I was like, this is what I have to do. So I'll put the money here. I'll start investing this, that, this, that. So yeah, it kind of helped in the beginning. So you have to have that discipline, guys. Like at the end of the day, like there will be like a thousand things. So okay, I never share this with anyone, but since you guys are here, I'll share this. Like for example,
Okay.
in the next few years, I really want to get a good car for myself. Okay, and I would probably, if I can actually make a good amount of money, I will probably do it. Like I'm talking in a good high-end car. Okay,
Yeah.
and I'll probably do it if I make a good amount of money. But first, I would actually take out money for investing in the real estate because that comes first. I have to prioritize things like
Yeah.
accordingly. Like this is my priority. I have to increase my income first, and then like at the end of the day, when I have a good chunk of dough left, and I can be like, now I think I can just enjoy. And like it's always important to enjoy as well. Don't be in that pressure all the time,
Yeah.
but always have your priorities straight, like what comes first and what doesn't. Yeah.
And that is
I
exactly what Robert Kiyosaki says. That is exactly what he says.
so I think
Okay.
I have one more
So
question, which
any
I think,
tips? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I just like love the what you're saying. I just want to say, ask actually, like, what is your advice to like as a teenage entrepreneur who want to get into entrepreneurship or want to start their own business? Do you have like something they should worry about, they should watch out for, or something they should
Let
just
me just
uh,
quote Nike, just do it.
uh,
I mean, people get scared. People are like, "Huh, I'm just 18 or I'm just 19. I mean, just do
uh,
it. Like, I'm 19 right now. I mean, that doesn't hold me back. I mean, I have like tremendous support from my family, which is incredible. I have a girlfriend who really supports me for whatever I do. I mean, my mom, my dad, they've just been pushing me like, do whatever you want, do what's good for you, do. And like, that is really important. But at the end of the day, it's you who will actually be like, huh, this is what I want to do. And if you just think about it and then you go to bed and you wake up next day in the morning and you don't even remember it, you're on your phone all day. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you have an idea and you know that it will do well, just do it. I mean, just do it. I mean, think about funding later on. Like, think about putting in the money later on because there's always a way. I mean, yeah, you might fail. Like, this is where the Shark Tank, what was his name? The the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban. The
mark.
Mark
Yeah.
Cuban
Yeah,
always, like this is where I really believe that is true. Like do like tens of things, like 10, 20, 30 businesses. If you start 10, 20, 30 businesses, you might fail 19 or 20 businesses, but that just one business might click, and that one business can put you on top of the moon. I mean, that
Yeah.
is exactly what you just don't hold back. If you think that this thing has potential, just try and do it and just see where it goes. I mean, just give it your 110%, just leave the rest of it to God, to luck, and whatever. But then, I mean, if you just gave it your 110%, you'd probably get it.
Yeah. That was quite motivating.
yeah.
Uh, One more question, the final one for sure. Okay, so what social media marketing advice would you give to small YouTubers like us?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Actually, I'm also thinking of getting into the YouTube space. I mean, like I've always been fascinated, and this is how actually Shubham and I we got talking. We started
Yeah.
talking. Like I certainly was like, does anyone want to talk about business online? And then he's like, oh, like I have a
Yeah.
podcast. Like, oh, cool. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. We can do that.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is like outreach. I mean, reach people. I mean, just text them, DM them, DM till you get blocked by Instagram. That is what I really think. Like, Instagram is huge at this point of time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can actually market on Instagram, people will catch your eyes. YouTube is still very expensive for first time like entrepreneurs, first time like YouTubers. Like YouTube is
Yeah.
still expensive. For you to put up 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 for just YouTube ads,
Yeah.
it's not feasible, right? But you can start engaging with people for free. I mean that doesn't take any money.
Yeah.
You search up 10 people. Like this is one thing that I'll always tell you. Let's say that there's a business mindset page on business motivation page on Instagram. I mean you will see 20,000 pages on Instagram that is related to business and that has over a million subscribers and whatnot. Okay,
Yeah.
do this. Go and check their followers list. They'll have a million. So those million are potential users, potential
Yeah.
viewers for you.
Mhm.
Suddenly, like you already have a bracket created, and like suddenly you can just DM them, like, hey, like we saw that you follow this page, and if you would be interested, like to watch this. Most of the time, you will be like, you just go away. Like no one
Yeah.
wants to talk to you. But still, I mean, out of 15 people, 20 people that you check, like one or maybe two might actually click through and just see like, huh, what is this? Like, let me just see. And slowly, it's like a snowball effect. I mean, did you ever DM someone about this page? Like, how many times have you done it?
I think
Uh, I have done that. I have done that on LinkedIn specifically because I thought it will be easier to get audience there. And
But
we
think
have
about this, like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Instagram is where the actual audience is. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Facebook has slowly become that grandma thing
Yeah.
that your mom uses. But
Yeah,
Instagram, Snapchat, just go for it. Create an Instagram page. You guys don't have an Instagram page yet,
we
right?
have now.
Okay,
We-
great. So yeah, just use
yeah.
that and just put it
Mhm.
up on stories. Ask your friends to do it. I mean, out of let's say that you guys sleep for 8 hours a piece. All right, 8 hours is good enough. Like, let's say you
Yeah.
sleep for 8 hours. The rest of the time, what you do is you wake up, you start DMing people, and you get blocked by Instagram. You wait for 1 hour so that
Yeah.
Instagram clears you, and then you understand, okay, these guys are not a threat. They're not spamming, and then you start again and you get blocked again. Like that is when you enjoy. so, so just try and be at it if you're not paying at the beginning, but then slowly just start like pooling in some money and run a few ads on Instagram and run a few ads on Facebook, and suddenly your first 1,000 subscribers will reach, and then from 1,000 to 5,000 is not that tough, and then from 5,000 to 10,000 won't be tough, and then slowly you'll just get viewers, and yeah, you'll live the dream, man. That's about it.
So basically, just do it. Besharam ho jao. But the end is actually what that will matter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
So thanks, Aaron, for coming to the 15-minute thing. It was really motivating and informative,
It was a
and
pleasure, guys.
we really wish and we
In,
want
yeah.
to make more podcasts with you in the future.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm always
Yeah.
ready.
So that's it from Shivam,
Yeah.
Divit, and Aaron.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah.